part of the strategy that we teach in our programs is a three-pronged strategy. If we have to go and partner with someone that you know, like, and trust in the beginning to show face, that's fine. There's no average bid time. What you're doing is you are essentially building a rapport with this particular sub agency in your space, your field of expertise, in your niche, letting them know that your company exists, right? So the first thing you're doing is you're waving your hand out here and saying, hey, I'm out here, I exist. Now, part of the strategy that we teach in our programs is a three-pronged strategy. This is one of the strategies that I teach. Why? Because first thing you got to do is tell them you're here. Like, you got to tell the government you exist. They don't know that all of us are out here unless we tell them. Remember, the government doesn't get the best people. They get the best people that come to them. So if you don't come to them, they ain't coming to you, right? So you've got to go to them and say, hey, we exist, right? That's the first thing. So this is part of a multi-pronged approach to attract the government buyers to you. It's kind of like, if you want to catch a mouse, you got to put out cheese, right? Then the mouse comes out to catch the cheese. So this is like you putting out your cheese to catch a mouse. I've never used that example, but it just made sense in my brain right now. So tell me if it makes sense to you guys. But this way I see it, right? So now you're putting out cheese to the government to come out and try to catch the mouse. Maybe they don't get caught by the trap the first time. Maybe they bite a little bit of the cheese and they keep moving on, right? So again, you don't necessarily going to get a contract directly as a result of this the first time. But if you continue to do this on top of developing relationships with that particular sub agency, right? That's part of the process to get those first phone calls when the government has the next time they're going to make a micro purchase by a simplified acquisition, they're calling you first. Does that make sense? So you have to put yourself in a position for them to call you. Again, some people talk about like dating. Just because you show up the first time doesn't mean that the person likes you. That doesn't mean that they have something for you. That doesn't mean that they have to give you a contract or an opportunity just because you show up, right? They may already have someone that they've been using in the past. They may already have someone that has better qualified, or maybe this particular opportunity doesn't necessarily meet, or you don't have the necessarily, you're not the perfect match, right? Maybe you're a 70% match, but there's somebody who's 100% match. So, but they're going to know you exist. They're going to know you're out here. They're going to know your name. They're going to know your company name. And so as you continue to, like some people say, politely stalk them, or, continue to bump into them at conferences, events, or as you're reaching out to other people in their offices, your name's going to keep flying around that same office that, hey, Mike Harris. Hey, you guys heard about Mike Harris and XYZ company? Yeah, I remember Mike. Okay, yeah, Mike sent in a source of thought a year ago. We didn't pick him because there was a better qualified candidate, but he's been very persistent and diligent, and someone who's been persistent, diligent, and following up and continuing to respond to, because you're helping them do their jobs. I think Mike deserves a chance now. That might be 6 months. It might be 8 months. It might be a year. I've had government respond to me in as little as 3 months doing this and as long as 18 months. But why is it worth the effort? Why is it worth doing it? Because you're looking at building long-term relationships. Anyone that's on here that's listening to me right now, there's 74 people on here, and you better all have hit the like button. If you're on here and you're not in this for the long haul, you might as well just click off now, because this is the long game, and the government themselves are looking for contractors who are going to be in here for the long haul. Trust me, they don't want fly-by-night contractors. So they want to show that you're going to be here with them to support them for the long term. How do they do that? Well, they test your patience. They test you like, all right, let me see if Mike, all right, I didn't call Mike back this time. I didn't email Mike back. Is Mike going to just disappear on me? Or is Mike going to show up the next time? Right? Hey, Mike sent me another message, right? So, all right, is Mike serious? Well, nah, look, we ain't gonna bother Mike. Did Mike call? No, Mike went away. guess what happens? 80% of you are going to go away. So then they've already just kind of like, you filtered yourself out of the mix, right? So it's, you guys already are self-filtering. The government don't even have to do any work. They just kind of wait you out, right? And once they wait you out, they good. And that's what happens for folks out here. So again, I want to say that because people are thinking like, you can stop whatever you're doing now and the government's going to just automatically give you a chance. And by the way, this is something else that I want people to think about. Do you want our government, who's protecting us, who's fighting for us, who's sending troops overseas, who's putting up billion-dollar ships in the water, who's putting up helicopters in the air, who's putting up planes in the air, do you want anyone to be able to walk into the building and stick a USB device in a computer and the government just met that guy yesterday off the street? Would you want that? Do you agree with that philosophy? Would you think, what do you think the news would say if the government let somebody walk into their building for the very first time and stick a freaking USB device inside of a government computer? And they don't even know who you are. They've never met you. They've never done business with you. There's got to be some sort of vetting process. I know we all thinking about money, but let's think about it from the practical standpoint. The news would eat them up. They'd have to testify in Congress as why they did something so stupid. Why would you let a first time guy off the street come in here and just stick something on a computer device? You don't have a protocol for this stuff? You don't vet your contracting pools? So they got to test you out to see if you're going to be the kind of person that's going to stick around, not be a threat. They want to meet you a couple times, maybe go out to coffee, maybe see at a couple meetings, see your face, make sure like you're not a bad actor, give you a small chance, right? Maybe let you work on a fax machine before they let you touch a computer because the fax machine is not tied back into the system. That's all I'm saying. So I just want to say that for people out here, because I think sometimes we miss the mark on what we're really doing and who's our customer and who we're serving. And we're only looking at the dollars and not looking at the big picture and saying to myself, say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Government, right? Oh, I understand completely why you don't pick first-time contractors. But guess what? That doesn't stop me, right, from proving myself that we're worthy, that we're worth our salt. And if we have to go and partner with someone that you know, like, and trust in the beginning to show face, that's fine. Or if we just got to wait and play the long-term game to buy your trust, to get your buy-in, that's fine too. If I've got to talk to all 5 stakeholders at a sub agency to let them all know that I'm like a genuine person, I am who I say I am, that's okay too.